Next step, once you've sketched on your brow, is to take your concealer or foundation. For me, I love Fashion Fair Cosmetics. They've been around since before I was born. My grandmother uses Fashion Fair, my mom, and so I do too. So I'm gonna use the Fast Finish Stick. For me, the color is Honey. I'm using Honey because I'm highlighting with this. I'm gonna highlight underneath my brow because our brows naturally have a light underneath, so you want to pop that, and this is gonna help to give it a little bit of a pop. So you need your brush. You can get it at Macy's, and I think Dillard's in the South. If you wanna know exactly where else to get it. Then you take here, lift your brow, go underneath, just underneath. So from the halfway point, a little bit more, closer to the front of the brow, you're gonna go underneath it, really thinly, in a thin way, really carefully, precisely. You don't wanna go all the way to the front because you don't want it to look like a white line. And I lift because it's easier to see where the hair starts when you lift. And brush it down into the skin. Carry it all the way to the front. Most of the product is gone. You just want to make sure the line is precise all the way down. All the way from the beginning to the end. Remember, if you're looking down into the mirror, always pick it up to make sure. Ooh, sometimes you have to take a break too. Ooh. So the next step is to use the loose powder. It's oil control. This color for me is amber, this loose powder. And I love loose because this is gonna set the brow into place because you just need a little bit. So once you put it on your brush, this is the type of brush you need. You don't want a lot of powder because you're just trying to set the brow because you're gonna go to the very front and dab it just a little. Now, what you can do, once you're finished, is go back over it. Once you've set the brow, sharpen that pencil, make sure it's really sharp. And you're just gonna go back over the eyebrow with the dark brown pencil, not the black anymore, because you do not want it to look like Groucho Marx. You want it to look like hair. You want it to look natural. So you go back over it, not in the front. Now you've got the perfect brow. Using the Honey Fast Finish Stick that I just used to highlight underneath the brow, I'm gonna use to highlight underneath my eye as concealer. It's slightly lighter than what you would normally use all over your face. And if you notice, I'm using my finger. I'm using my finger because I don't like using sponges. And the reason I don't like using sponges is because it removes too much product. The heat from your fingers will move the product on your face. Remember, we're going here. Remember that whole thing I taught you earlier? That's the same thing you want to do underneath your eye. You want your face to pop, honey. You want it to have some pizzazz all the way. Just tap, just tap. You don't want to pull the skin, you just want to tap it into place. The heat will move. Then you're gonna take the same powder that you used up top. You're gonna go right underneath. Notice the difference between this side and this side.